Italian authorities have launched an investigation into the rapid sinking of the £30 million super yacht, Bayesian, owned by tech tycoon Lynch, which went down off the coast of Portholes in Sicily. The tragedy occurred on a Monday morning when the vessel was struck by a freak waterspout while anchored. The luxury yacht sank within minutes, leaving 6 people, including Mr. Lynch, his 18-year-old daughter Hannah, and a Morgan Stanley executive, missing. Despite the efforts of rescue teams, these individuals have not been found, and the search has entered its 3rd day. While 15 people were rescued, hope for finding them missing alive is dwindling as the search continues under increasingly difficult conditions. The sinking of the Bayesian has raised numerous questions, particularly about whether open hatches and doors on the yacht contributed to its rapid submersion. Prosecutors in Termini Imerese have begun an investigation to determine whether the yacht's crew took appropriate precautions, such as closing access hatches before the storm hit, given the forecasts for severe weather. This investigation will also explore whether any crew members could be held criminally liable for the disaster. Experts at the scene have suggested that open hatches and doors could have allowed water to flood the yacht quickly, leading to its sudden sinking. Sam Jefferson, editor of Sailing Today, noted that the yacht might have been struck hard by the wind, causing it to tilt and take on water rapidly if hatches and doors were left open. Andrea Ratti, a nautical design professor at Milan Polytechnic University, supported this theory, stating that a yacht of Bayesian-esque size would only sink so quickly if it took on a significant amount of water, potentially through open portholes or windows. The investigation will examine these possibilities, as well as whether the crew was negligent in their duties, especially given the weather conditions that were forecasted. The search for the missing passengers has been fraught with challenges. Divers are racing against time, with the possibility that the missing individuals could still be alive in air pockets within the wreckage, which lies 164 feet below the surface. However, divers can only stay underwater for 10 minutes per dive due to the depth, and their efforts have been hampered by the difficulty of accessing the ship's interior. Furniture and other debris have blocked access to parts of the wreck, and divers have had to smash through a 3 cm thick porthole to enter one area. Despite these efforts, the Italian Coast Guard has acknowledged that the likelihood of finding survivors is slim. Chief Prosecutor Ambrogio Curtosio and his team are expected to interview the 15 survivors to gather information on what led to the sinking. Among those missing is Hannah Lynch, who had recently completed her A-levels and was set to study English at Oxford. Her school, Latimer Upper School in Hammersmith, London, expressed shock at the news and conveyed their thoughts to her family and all those involved in the tragedy. Italian meteorological expert Luca Mercalli criticized the crew for not waking the guests and ensuring they were equipped with life jackets, given the forecasted severe weather. This point will likely be a key focus of the investigation as authorities determine whether the crew's actions were appropriate. The yacht's sinking has drawn comparisons to previous maritime disasters, with some experts noting the strange circumstances under which such a large and presumably well-maintained vessel could sink so quickly. One former crew member described it as unusual for the yacht to sink after having previously withstood harsh conditions in the Atlantic. The yacht's 246-foot high mast, one of the tallest in the world, has also been highlighted as a possible factor in the sinking. The mast reportedly snapped during the storm, which may have caused the yacht to capsize rapidly. Rescue operations have continued despite the deteriorating weather conditions. Frigate Captain Vincenzo Zagarola of the Italian Coast Guard stated that while it is difficult to imagine a positive outcome after so much time has passed, the search efforts have not ceased. Divers from Napoli and Messina have joined the search, using remotely operated underwater vehicles to assist in their efforts. However, as the search stretches into its 3rd day, the likelihood of finding them missing alive diminishes. Nick Sloan, who worked on the Costa Concordia salvage operation, emphasized the critical nature of the next 24 hours in the search for survivors. He noted that if any of the missing passengers are trapped in air pockets, they would need to be rescued quickly as time is running out. However, Captain Zagarola expressed skepticism about the chances of survival, noting that it is unlikely the missing passengers are still alive. The survivors of the disaster, including Mike Lynch's wife Angela Baccarez, have recounted the terrifying experience. Baccarez, who is recovering from injuries in a wheelchair, described how she and her husband were awakened by a slight tilt of the boat at 4 a.m. Initially, they were not concerned, but the situation quickly deteriorated as glass shattered and chaos ensued on board. Baccares sustained injuries likely from walking on broken glass as the yacht sank. Another survivor, Charlotte Golunski, described how she held her 1-year-old daughter Sophia above the water, fighting to keep her from drowning in the dark, stormy waters. The rapid sinking of the Bayesian has shocked the maritime community, with experts struggling to understand how such a well-equipped yacht could go down so quickly. Former shipyard manager and maritime technical inspector Gino Siriassi suggested that once the mast fell, the yacht became more susceptible to pitching and rolling, making it vulnerable to capsizing. He explained that the waterspout likely caused the yacht to tilt until the edge of the deck slipped under the water, allowing it to take on water rapidly and sink. The investigation into the tragedy will likely focus on several key areas: whether the crew failed to secure the yacht properly before the storm hit, whether open hatches and doors contributed to the rapid sinking, and whether the crew took adequate precautions given the weather conditions. As the investigation unfolds, it will be crucial to determine whether human error played a role in the disaster or if the sinking was an unavoidable consequence of the extreme weather conditions. The Bayesian now lies on the seabed, resting on its starboard side, with rescue teams continuing their grim search for the missing passengers. Despite the increasingly challenging conditions, the search and rescue teams remain determined to recover the bodies of those still unaccounted for. The sinking of the Bayesian serves as a stark reminder of the unpredictable and often dangerous nature of the sea, even for the most advanced and luxurious vessels. In the coming days, the investigation will seek to uncover the truth behind this tragic incident, offering some closure to the families of the missing and ensuring that any lessons learned can help prevent similar disasters in the future. The sinking of the Bayesian is not only a personal tragedy for those directly affected but also a significant event in the world of maritime safety, as authorities and experts strive to understand what went wrong and how such a disaster can be avoided in the future. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more updates on celebrity deaths and news updates.